What is going on, everybody? Welcome to this, I suppose, special Sunday live stream, something that I've only done twice before. So it's kind of different. And the honest reason it's happening is I was sitting there this morning thinking, what kind of video could I record? And I thought, you know, I can't think of anything. Let's talk to the people and we'll see how this chat goes. If this chat goes really well and we can keep the conversation going, then maybe I'll try and make them happen a little more frequently. Plus, I dig today's discussion topic because it's you guys and it's what you ended up picking up this past week that you can add to your shelves and even better, put under your lights and in front of your lenses. So, with that said, let's check in. I see the LBZ came in a little earlier. He said, I'm going to do the replay later, so as I'm at church, but I did get the Mafex Bo-Katan. I saw those images. He's taking some good stuff. I'm impressed, and I'm a sick man, so I'm probably going to need that Bo-Katan at some point. SHF Valvarad. I don't know who that is, so I might need to look that up. And supposed to get another SHF Kamen Rider Arc 1 in a couple days, more prior to this past week's. Whew. He's always got good stuff. If you guys aren't following LBZ on Instagram or Twitter or any of the other channels, make sure you do it up. He's on YouTube as well, posting a lot of shorts. Mr. Spencer, hola. Thank you for stopping by, man. I appreciate it. Pushing the buttons. Mirage Bravern, I was doing something and you nearly scared me when I heard your voice. Sorry about that. I try not to be too scary. Yeah. So I'll show you just real quick. This is about you guys. So I'm just going to knock this out right now. This was my crazy haul for the week. Nothing too nuts, but man, do I love this thing. It's got that Kelly Jones look, the bat face there, the head sculpt that I didn't think I'd like, but I'm really digging it. I've even done a couple videos with this guy. I did the review and I did 5 poses with Batman starring this dude. So if you haven't seen those, they're up there. But yeah, that was my haul. So pretty excited about that one. I'm always excited when I get a new figure, but there was a reason I had to get him, and that is my best performing short was when that Batman was announced. And I just talked about my early thoughts, and I think it's gotten almost 10,000 views, and that was because of him. And I thought, well, I should probably pick that guy up for sure. Probably for sure. Definitely for sure. Mr. Spencer, went to Maryland Toy Expo yesterday, so I got a solid haul. Plus, ordered some stuff on Amazon that I'm waiting on. Nice. I still need to go to a toy show. I've never gone to a proper toy show, like a convention or anything like that. So what all did you load up on? See, is it better than Hush Batman? You know, I don't know how to answer that because I like the design of the Hush Batman better. I'll say this, the cape on this one, it's something I wish I had said in my review. It's a different material than the cape on the Hush Batman. It's like the Hush Batman's cape is more of a cloth, and I think because of that, it's a little heavier. This is, I don't even know what kind of material to call it. It's kind of rough, maybe more polyester, maybe more nylon. I'm not sure. I'm not somebody that does a whole lot with cloth goods and material and stuff like that. But the upshoot is it's a lighter material. So I feel like there's a lot more you can do with the cape with this one. So there's that. As far as movement, the Hush Batman probably moves a little better at the neck, only because the way that this is done, let's see if we can show it here. Okay, so the neck here, this is all part of the cowl, so there's no ball peg, like there's no additional movement down here when this cowl's on. You only get the ball, like the ball peg at that goes into the head. So you don't get any movement down at the neck with the cowl on. or with the cape on. So that's probably a slight limitation, but in my review, I was talking about it. I don't think it's much of a limitation, to be very honest. So honestly, I would say I like them both. I think the cape on the Nightfall is better, just because it doesn't weigh down on the wires quite as much. I said something about thinking that the wires were just maybe stronger in this one, and I think that's wrong. I think it's just that the other cape's heavier. This cape's like same wires. The wires just work better in the lighter cape. I got NECA T100. Nice. NECA Predator. A couple Marvel Legends cheap. Arctic Storm Shadow. And some really cool web effects. Nice. What was the... I've been considering the Jungle Hunter Predator, because I figure if I just get one Predator, that's the one to get. Which one did you get, John? I'm curious. And which Marvel Legends? Because, you know, I might not pick them up, but I do think they've been doing a lot to make them look a lot better than they used to, than they were looking for a couple of years there. And when you say the Arctic Storm Shadow, are you talking the first one that came out in Classified? Let's see, T1000. Okay, yeah. I should have caught that. I should have said, yeah, that's what it actually was. Let's see, let me check. Marvel Legends was Hood and Death Dealer from Shang-Chi. Death Dealer. Oh. He was the guy, he was in the blue and white, right? Or am I off? Trying to remember it's been a while since I've seen Shang-Chi. But the Hood is a fun figure. Yep, the first Arctic Storm Shadow that came out for Classified. Cool. Appreciate it. That's what I was thinking it was probably. I had that one for a time. He was pretty cool. He was a little, what was it that there was something that bugged me as far as the articulation was concerned. And I don't remember what it was. But yeah, he's you guys know when it comes to Classified, I think all the Classified stuff is good. The only thing is they just need hands for me. I need more hands. So you don't like the spikes on that Batman. that is something that's just going to be subjective. That's just going to be personal preference. I know when I was looking at the Kelly Jones artwork, he didn't seem to draw him with the spikes. He drew him with the crazy head, but not with the spikes. But then you look at other artists in the 90s, and they did seem to have some of the spikes, but it really varied. They didn't always draw him with the spikes. So I don't know. So actually, when I look at the Mafex product images, the ones that are most accurate are the ones like this, where the cape doesn't have the spikes and you've got the Kelly Jones head on. And the other one where you do have the spikes and kind of the regular Batman head on, that's more how it really was way back when, which threw me off because I was sure when I saw this crazy, it screwed up the marketing shots and this had to have the spiked cape, but no. And yeah, apparently I thought I'd remember all that stuff from way back when, but I really didn't when I was going back through doing a Google image search. Let's see, Predator is Ahab. Okay, cool. I was looking because the Prey one looks good too. I'm trying to picture the Ahab one. Look, also, I'm back in the studio for a live stream. It's crazy. It's what happens when I recorded a short last night from comics. It was just a good deal. Nice. I recorded a short last night showing the studio because it actually got cleaned yesterday for the first time since I've been back here. And it was thanks in large part to the mom showing up, because I would just look at it and be like, I really don't want to deal with this today. She came up and she's like, okay, we're dealing with this today. So I actually got the studio cleaned up. Now I feel okay sitting in here. So that's why the live stream's happening here. Raj, really do let's see, either spikes. Let's see. really do be either spikes or no spikes. Like it's kind of like just your opinion, man, on which one you like, I suppose. Yeah, I do like I'm thrown off that I like this head on him as much as I do. He might actually, just because I've got the standard HUDs, the standard heads on my two Hush Batmen, this one might keep this head on, but I've got the standard one ready to go whenever I want to try it. We'll see. Let's see. It looks great in comics, but not on the figure. The spikes, you mean? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a big spikes guy. I remember seeing him way back and just thinking, the spikes on him, it's all right. It's just not my preferred look. There was a bunch of other stuff, but it was getting warm in there and my buddy was done. So I got out before I spent too much. Always a safe bet. You gotta watch out. That wallet gets angry from time to time. But yeah, I just keep looking over here. I also, like last week, and I just posted the video this week, but last week I was really excited to get this guy, to get Kirby. And that pencil, I've had a couple times where I'm like, oh God, did he drop the pencil? Please don't drop the pencil. But really cool to have Jack Kirby to go alongside my Marvel Legends Stan Lee. I am considering getting that Todd McFarlane 2-pack with the Spawn, just because it's Todd McFarlane, even though it's not the right scale for the other stuff I have. I did, let's see, went a bit of model kit hunting. Nothing notable besides one kit, but that's about it. And I was broke. Yeah, that happens. I had a tough few months there, but things are kind of picking up a little bit. What kind of model kits do you hunt for? Like, I know I've seen a lot of model kits on Big Bad Toy Store that just look like you build them and they're action figures. And I've gotten my niece some of those 30-minute Sisters model kits. She really seems to like them. And that's basically them. You put them together and now you've got action figures. I've got Kirby in the pile to open. Had to go to eBay for him after Target screwed me. Oh man, that sucks. I was visiting my family last weekend and went to Target knowing I wasn't going to see him, and he was there. So I lucked into him quite a bit. So I was very happy with that. My pickup was Mezco Spider-Man. Might get Green Goblin and Doc Ock. I mean, not to enable anything, because man, I just don't want to be thought of as the enabler guy. Although basically, if you're doing YouTube with these figures, you by default are kind of an enabler. But you almost need that Green Goblin and Doc Ock if you've got that classic Spidey, don't you? Not to be that guy, I'm just saying. The Green Goblin, I think, looks really good. Doc Ock with a lab coat, I think looks awesome. I think and I was going through pictures of him from the 60s, and I know people were saying that he doesn't have enough of a dad bod for the Mezco one. But I was looking at a lot of those older pictures. He didn't have, I mean, he had a little bit, he's still a little skinny on the Mezco one, but he wasn't like this chubby guy either way back when. So I think it's closer to the 60s look than people are giving it credit for. I really like the look of him in the lab coat, though. Raj has seen on my IG and other social media sites a whole ton of Goompla. Nice. I need to go back. I gotta check out your stuff. Let's see. But I do get other stuff occasionally, like a Mecha Musumi. Is that how you pronounce it? Kit. And recently a Super Sentai kit from the latest show. What's the latest? So, okay, here's something, because I'm not sure. Super Sentai, that's basically what Power Rangers, or the predecessor to what Power Rangers became in the US, right? So do they run like a different continuity now than the Power Rangers did? Or am I way off in trying to figure things out? Because I always leave possibility, like room for that possibility as well. Let's see. Yeah, I was wondering that too, John. Thank you. Let's see. Shin Mazen Kaiser 444. Not often updated though compared to Facebook. Okay, got it. Thank you, Mirage. I appreciate it. Whew. So what? Let's see. Some cool Goompla. I'll have to look that up after the stream. Let me see. Should we check out? I'm trying to think of what all to look at here that would be kind of fun. We could see, we've seen the hood. Let me go back through. A lot of stuff, guys. A lot of cool stuff. I always love hearing all the different figures that everybody's picking up. Just the different types of stuff, you know? Raj, Super Sentai is always a different universe. The latest show, in fact, had a crossover with an older show, but made it clear that they are from another universe. That's so crazy. Like the whole universe thing, the whole multiverse thing. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it out of control or is it something that you dig? Robert, Mezco Spider-Man. Right. Did I say Mapexx or something? I'm not sure. I don't know if I said something wrong there. But yes, I was talking about the Mezco Green Goblin and the Mezco Doc Ock. That's what I'm thinking, though, is like if you've got the Mezco Spidey, like that's totally 60s look. You almost got to go Green Goblin and Doc Ock. Alrighty. I got to see some Savage Crucible in person. Seems good, but wasn't excited for anything they had in stock there. Man, the lizard guy that's been kind of getting reviewed lately, that thing looks so good. And if the only problems are the ankles, which I know are a big thing, especially when it comes to trying to balance this stuff, you know they're just going to get better as they move along. So I'm excited to see what all Savage Crucible does. Let's see. You are welcome, Mirage. Still less complicated than the DC multiverse. Man, DC reboots everything so often. I'm not even sure what they're doing right now. Are they still in Rebirth or have they done something else since then? Robert, Mezco, Green Goblin, and Doc Ock. Right. Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah. You need them, basically, is what I'm saying. If you have that Mezco Spidey. Multiverse is cool when done right. So far, it's been okay in visual media. See, I'm kind of ready, at least in the MCU. I'm ready for it to be done. I hope Deadpool and Wolverine kind of knock it out and suddenly we're back to just one, you know? But we'll see. It's all, again, that's one of those subjective things. I'm on a kick to pick up a fig from as many different companies that I can just so I can judge them. Man, that's a good idea. I was looking back at my most recent videos that I've done, and they've all had to do with NECA, Mafex, Action Force, or G.I. Joe, or like a combination of them. And I haven't picked up a Jada figure in months. And Ken's out there, the Mega Man figures are out there. So I want to pick those up. I still haven't gotten an AWOC. I haven't gotten anything Savage Crucible. That's the one. I don't know if you guys have heard this or not. My mom actually picked up, she ordered through the Kickstarter one of the Piranha dudes from Savage Crucible. She's like, oh, that's cool. going, wait a sec, what just happened? So I'll get to review that when it comes out, and then I'll be giving it back to Mom, sadly. But yeah, I haven't gotten any Valiverse recently. And man, did you guys see the Series 5 drops? The Praetorian? I need that Praetorian. And Sidewinder comes with so much stuff. The Recon Corps guy, the Colonel Siege. I'm not so into like the samurai look, and I didn't even like ninjas so much with G.I. Joe. So I'm not as into Senshi, but I think he looks cool. And Atlas, I think it's just he looks cool enough, but I think the colors are just kind of he doesn't look as visually exciting to me as some of the other figures, but a ton of them I think look so good. So I need to be picking up, basically, long story short, I need to be picking up more of the independents, just like you, John, just getting stuff from different lines to check them out. And then I need to get more Jada. Robert, I have the Mezco Batman Two-Face. Might pick up Joker and Robin. Ooh, I forgot about those. That was the 2-pack, right? The Batman and Two-Face 2-pack. And then because I know the Joker and the Robin. That would be, man, that's old school stuff that would look so cool on a shelf. Like, do you display? I know with Mafex, I could display my Marvel and my DC figures together because they're the same scale and all that. Do you display your Mezco figures like when you've got your Batman or DC stuff and your Marvel stuff? Do you mix them up? These are the burning questions. Let's see. Cough, MCU Secret Wars. That's right. Shoot. Dang it. Maybe they can change things. It seems they're changing a lot of productions lately. Help me out. I'd like to pick up that 3-0 Cobra Commander and Destro. They look really good. Those are the 1/6 scale, right? Yeah, I forgot about those too. They look ridiculously good. If I ever went down the 1/6 scale rabbit hole, I would be so screwed. I'd pick up so much from Hot Toys, specifically Star Wars stuff. It would be ugly. I'd be living in a box, but I'd have an awesome Hot Toys collection. I'm about to pre-order some Valiverse Series 5. Awesome, John. They look so good, man. 3-0 Destro is great. He's fighting Alpha Chester Cheetah for my favorite figure I picked up this year. Oh, man. Chester's fun. I haven't gotten an Alf for whatever reason, and I remember watching Alf. He just didn't stick with me. It's like He-Man. Like, for whatever reason, even though I grew up with He-Man, it didn't stick with me like G.I. Joe and Transformers and comics and all that stuff. So, yeah, but neither did Chester Cheetah. And I love that figure. Like, he's just fun. So maybe I need an Alf. Basically, whenever I see NECA stuff in the store, I'm like, oh, that looks so cool. I kind of need it. So we'll see. Mirage, I really need to pick up the Praetorian eventually. Yeah, that Praetorian, and I think the way that he's being set up in that universe is a Crimson Shadow dude or something, where he's not a villain, he's not a hero, he's kind of just highest bidder kind of guy, or maybe somebody that comes in like a robot army that just comes in and tries to wipe everybody out. That's at least how I'm seeing it, just because of sort of the Terminator Predator vibe it gives off. Like, I love the design of the head because it looks like it's got the Predator mandible things going on. That thing is just cool. Raj, I also want to sell my Black Series Darth Vader eventually. I'm focused on other stuff nowadays that I don't really care to get anything for Star Wars. Man, that sucks. That sucks. Just because, like, for me, I haven't gotten much Star Wars either. And I've got to respond. LBZ, like, I saw his Bo-Katan stuff and I commented on it. He was talking about his Star Wars collection. And he says the only Black Series he has, I think he said, were like 3 Dark Troopers. And when I think about it, the only Black Series I have are 3 Ewoks. And I've got a SHF Luke and an SHF Darth. So it's kind of, for me, I think I'm going to get more into the Mafex and the SHF Star Wars stuff just because the Hasbro Star Wars stuff, there's just not a lot of extras there and it's really limited with its articulation. But hopefully, Mirage, if you do start getting back into Star Wars, because it was my first nerd love after Miss Pac-Man, hopefully you'll see some of this other stuff and think, that's pretty cool. Because I know SHF is reissuing a bunch of stuff that I think looks really good too. Let's see. I'll keep my Shore Trooper squad leader, though. He means a lot to me. Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah, there are some Black Series figures. Like they do a great job, honestly, on the army builders. They just don't have, I'm such a dork. Like they don't have extra hands. So when I see a figure doesn't have extra hands, I'm just automatically out, which is something only a photo guy like me would look at and say, yeah, I'm out, I guess. Thanks, John. I guess I need an elf. Well, that's it. John said so. It's elf time. He's super characterful. I can do super characterful. He does look fun. Like every time I see one of your pictures with him, I crack up. See, I get Black Series stuff on sale only. I don't think it's worth full price. Yeah, it's tough for me. Like I think Wicket, there's no way, for instance, that Wicket was worth 25 bucks. But I know there's never going to be another company that does a Wicket as good as that. And now when I look at Wicket, he's really only available on eBay. So he's gone. So I think, yeah, I don't know. Black Series is tough for me. Mirage, yeah, if Mafex or SHF do EU Star Wars figures, then it will be all over for me. Oh dear. I would be, yeah. I don't know the EU as well as I know the movie stuff, but I know it enough. Like if they were to do, oh man, the guy that Hasbro did Star Killer, I would, yeah, I'd be host. Or heck, even a Black Series Cade Skywalker. Man, they did Jonah, they did Jaina Solo. Who else did they have? They haven't done her brother yet. They haven't done Jason, right? And they did Mara Jade. There's just not a lot of articulation there. I have 2 elves and ordered the 3rd. So there's the regular elf, there's the SDCC one, and then what's the 3rd one? Robert, I like pickup creature from Black Lagoon and Bride black-white version. Let's see. You like or you might pick up the creature from the Black Lagoon and Bride black and white version. The creature from the Black Lagoon looks great. Are you talking the NECA ones? Because the NECA creature looks ridiculously good. And I just saw Toypixx's interview. Good Lord, man. His review of the Universal Monsters X TMNT crossover, Raphael and Leonardo. That Leonardo looks ridiculous, man. Ooh. Ooh. Not to show, any kind of favoritism towards NECA or anything. Lucas James, thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. I think G.I. Joe Mafex would be nice. It would be nice, and it would kill me. It would be nice, though. Like, if they started loading up on those. The one thing that I know it would be, though, is I don't have a complaint with Mafex. Mafex is my favorite line, period. But it would be nice if they go a little more the Mezco route once in a while and update the looks of things. Like, I love that they're totally faithful to the comics, but I would like them to say, come out with a Batman that's more their own design. I think that would be really cool. And so talking about G.I. Joe Mafex, I know they would be either just upscale versions of the cartoon or maybe the figures, and I would get them, no lie, but I need somebody to do more updated looks for those guys. Like, I need an updated look Flint. I need that retro Flint too that I talk about a little bit from the, like when I rip on Duke a lot, I rip on Duke a lot because Flint's a higher rank, but Duke was always in charge, which irritating. Also, if you read Flint's file card, he's way cooler than Duke, bar none. But yeah, Mafex G.I. Joe would be nice, and it would break me. Look, the upshoot is this. Oh, rock and roll Alf. Okay. See, yep, Thirds Rocker Alf. It's pre-order now. Let's see. Still no Dark Troopers? No, I gotta get some Dark Troopers, man. And they're not even crazy pricey. Like, I want to recreate, I gotta do at least one shot with Luke taking out some Dark Troopers, don't I? Like, that's almost a necessity. Like, it would be, I'm buying the Dark Troopers so I can take that shot, and then I'm selling the Dark Troopers. Except no, because they actually have fists and all that stuff. They're actually really good figures. So yeah, I gotta get a few of those. Amazing Yamaguchi Snake Eyes. If that exists, then my wallet will be flying to the sky. If that ever showed up, my wallet would decide to murder me. There would be no flying anywhere. Imagine, man, now that you said that, because Amazing Yamaguchi would kind of update it a little bit, I think. Imagine an Amazing Yamaguchi Snake Eyes and an Amazing Yamaguchi Storm Shadow. And I'm not even a ninjas in G.I. Joe kind of guy. Like, I liked my military stuff more, but those two would kill. Man, Amazing Yamaguchi is one of those lines I gotta get into. That's another one to add to my list. The Independents, Jada, and Amazing Yamaguchi. Yes, NECA only 2 I'm missing from black-white version. Okay, the Creature and the Bride. Got it. From the Universal Monsters, right? Because I think, are they the only ones they're doing in black and white? I certainly haven't seen the well, I was going to say I certainly haven't seen the Turtles, but they've done as well. Let's see. Any else Snake Eyes will kill my wallets. I'm telling you, they do Snake Eyes. They have to do Storm Shadow. Lieutenant Falcon outranks them both and is much cooler by file card than animated version. It wouldn't take much to be cooler than the animated version by anything when it comes to Falcon. Like, in the movie, he was just a bum, and in the series, he was an addict. After a while, you're going, why is this guy part of G.I. Joe? But yeah, I don't remember much of him in the comics, and I don't remember his file card. I have to check that out too. But in the comics, I do remember his first appearance. I believe that was them saving Hawk. It was with like a bunch of the 87 Joes showing up. And I think originally Falcon was supposed to be Hawk's son instead of Duke's half-brother, but I could be mistaken. Absolutely. Yeah, they'd kill us. G.I. Joe in anything will kill us all. Superpowers Batman, let's see, of Zurinar just arrived from Amazon. I love the McFarlane Superpowers line. They look so cool. Like, I loved Superpowers as a kid. And the only thing that kept me out of, and I'm dead serious, because I probably would have picked them up and gone back and loaded up on the Superpowers line, because I'm that sick. But the only thing that kept me out of the McFarlane Superpowers, as stupid as this is going to sound, and everybody feel free to laugh at me, is the fact that they didn't have like the action features. Like, you can't squeeze their legs and have them punch. It's totally silly. I get it 100%, but that's what kept me out. Still looking at them, they bring back all the nostalgia, and the vehicles are so cool. Absolutely. Okay. All right. I'm in charge of the bad jokes. I kid. I like it. I would absolutely love a modern day figure of the anime Cobra Commander. Best CC design yet. The anime Cobra Commander. I'm not sure I've seen that. Unless you're talking the Resolute. Like the cartoon that had them all in more updated looks. That would be fun. I had the Resolute Cobra Commander from Hasbro in, like, he came in the 7-pack. I thought that figure was so cool. Or no, I had the one that came in the single pack. Yeah. If that's the one you're talking about, I'd take all those looks. Let's see, aside from the movie. Robert, love superpowers, but don't have them. Yeah, the vehicles. I mean, the figures look really good, but the new Batmobile that he put out, oh, Sigma 6. Oh, that's right. I forgot about Sigma 6. That is totally anime too. I'd have to take a Flint from Sigma 6, obviously. But would they do, you know what would be sweet is if Hasbro, since G.I. Joe's kind of Hasbro's thing, and they have licensed some out, but I don't think they're going to go too nuts with licensing out like that scale. It would be sweet if they did Sigma 6 in classified scale, just because they're different looks, different uniforms. Like in classified, with the classified look, kind of how Star Wars Black Series will take an animated, like a animated Clone Wars Ahsoka or Rex, and make them look more realistic. That's what I'm talking about. Like take a Sigma 6 Duke and make him look more like he fits seamlessly into the classified line with basically just a different uniform. I have the majority of my original superpowers from the 80s. Oh, you lucky fiend. I was doubling up on McFarlane superpowers in the beginning, but stopped doubling up after series 2. So I assume, do you still get then the single cards? Or single cards? Good Lord, man. Just one figure instead of 2? Because yeah, they do look good. I can't sit here and say that the McFarlane superpowers don't look like great figures. By the way, guys, I feel like I need to say this now that we're talking about McFarlane stuff, because the most hate I get on the channel is when I talk about the DC Multiverse line, and it's earned, and I totally understand getting hate on the channel for when I talk about the DC Multiverse. But here's the thing, and I was explaining this to somebody the other day. Todd McFarlane, when I was growing up, and I'm sure when several of you were as well, was like the man when it came to comic book art. Like it was him, it was Jim Lee, it was Liefeld, it was Silvestri, it was all those guys. It was, what's the, oh man, somebody else I was trying to come up with there. It was awesome. Like they were just ridiculously great artists. And Todd McFarlane was like almost going to be, it looked like the heir apparent to Jack Kirby. Like his figures, his characters would stand there. They could be just talking to each other and there would be movement in the panel. It was incredible. His detail was incredible. He held himself to such a high standard when it came to his art. And I think that's why I'm so disappointed when it comes to DC Multiverse, is compared to other lines out there, it's not a high standards line. It's like, well, we can do this and people will buy it anyway. Now, there are exceptions. I love the Dark Side they just made. Like, that thing looks perfect to me. But I think that's why I go off on DC Multiverse, is McFarlane's stuff was so good as an artist. But then I see that and I'm like, oh, come on, Todd, hold yourself and hold your people to that same high standard and just wipe out everybody else. I think that's where my disappointment is with DC Multiverse. So yeah, when I talk about how disappointing that line is, I think that's where it comes from. Like the man is such a legendary, phenomenal artist. And to see that stuff, I'm just like, oh, come on, man. You can do so much better. You could destroy these other companies. And it just doesn't happen. They look great on card, but yeah, only buy one of each now. So do you only get them to display on card, or do you have them out so you can mess with them? That would be me. I would totally have them out so I could mess with them. See, I got you, John. I got you. His stuff, it had a unique look, and he was part of, like, back then, it was kind of the big three. It was McFarlane, it was Lee, it was Liefeld. Although, yeah, when you look at his feet were basically like rectangles with triangles at the end when he drew them. But he had really crazy the line work. And his style was distinct. Like a lot of Marvel artists were trying to look like Jim Lee. Liefeld didn't look like Jim Lee so much. So there was something about him. Plus, compared to the others in that lineup, he was kind of the rock star. He was the one doing commercials and all those other things. McFarlane had the popularity probably from us comic nerds, but yeah, I mean Liefeld, I will agree that compared to McFarlane and Lee, he definitely wasn't that good. But I don't think he was as bad as even I would say he was probably 10 years ago, going back and looking at the stuff. It had its own flavor. Let's see. The problem with McFarlane is he makes action statues. Yeah, that's I think that's part of it. I want his stuff to be so much better. I want his action figures to remind me of his art, but at the same time be able to move. Let's see, not figures, right. Let's see, eye open. All right, Lucas, cool. See, DC Multiverse are definitely action figures. They are. I do think that to call them statues is a little rough. They just don't have a lot of. They have what's crazy about them is they have Mafex articulation, with the exception of like the toe joints and the lower neck joint. But they just don't, they're not engineered as well. Like they've got the fact that they have the ball peg at the waist is awesome, but it always seems like they just need to cut away a little more at the diaper, because then they're really limited at the hip and the waist is limited, and sometimes they do something weird with the diaphragm joint that makes it so that can't move. So it's that kind of thing. Like I want his figures to be as dynamic as his art was, and I think that's what gets me. It's just his art was so good, and I don't see why his figures can't be as good. Ah, especially when they have all those joints that move as well as they do. When we're talking about his art, like seriously, I'm thinking about panels where Peter Parker is just talking and his wrist is up, his elbows bent. There's all kinds of just movement in just conversational panels. It's insane. See, I think DC multiverse figs are less than the sum of their parts. It's weird. I'll look at them and it'll look like each part looks like it's sculpted really well, but combined, they just don't look quite right sometimes. It almost looks like different people are working on them. They have good stuff. It just doesn't go together well. Yeah. I see what you're saying, John. I think. I mean, as far as what my thoughts are with it. But yeah, that's the only thing with because I have absolutely earned the hate when somebody that is listening and that really loves their DC multiverse, I've totally earned their hate when they get on and say, whatever, leave a comment, being jerks or whatever. I totally get that, because I have not been kind when it comes to DC multiverse, but I figured out why. I want them to be so much better because of how great McFarlane is as an artist. Yeah. And then there's the Action Force and G.I. Joe classified people who, like, once in a while, not very often actually, most of them are very cool, but once in a while you have one just saying, getting mad because I have Action Force. Like I had one guy say, oh, G.I. Joe classified versus the Corps. And I thought the comment that they had was funny. And so I said, hey, man, I don't agree with the assessment, but I thought the comment was good. And the person unsubscribed. And I'm going, well, that's weird. But, it's those are the three groups that it's kind of weird. And like they get really mad. Let's see, rip on multiverse even more. No. It's not even that I don't even enjoy ripping on it. It's just it's the disappointment factor. But I hope that Todd is able to turn it around and make that line, because I see so much potential with that line. He could just absolutely dominate. I would love them more if they gave them real capes. Yeah, yeah. Darkseid's got the real cape, and he's got extra hands, and he has an extra head. He doesn't have crazy articulation, but like I recorded a short where I was talking about Darkseid, and I'm like, I'm not sure he needs crazy articulation. He's Darkseid. He can basically just stand there and be the man. So yeah, that's one. That's a great figure. Let's see, not plastic. Right. And they are getting a little better with that. Like I said, with Darkseid, and I've noticed a few others. Todd is giving wired capes now. Exactly. Exactly. And they do look good. Oh, man. All right. What else we got? Anybody else that's on here that hasn't talked about what all they've picked up recently? And don't be afraid, by the way, to say that I picked up a DC Multiverse figure, because just because I sit back here and I say this stuff, I am all about you guys getting the stuff that gets you super stoked. And I'm also all about black tea that's decaf with honey, because nobody wants me on the caffeine. Actually, you know what we should do? I want to go. I know this is going to be. I know he's not there. Oh, check these out, guys. What does everybody think of this? I'm not this scale of a collector anymore. Hang on. Let me share this real quick. Oh my goodness. Where's the option? There we go. All right. They changed the option menu on me a little bit on StreamYard. I was going to ask, what does everybody think of these? I think they look good. They're 3 3/4, so they're out of my scale. But for $45, I don't think that's bad. And when you look at the head sculpts, hang on, let me see if I can find see if they have pictures where they're showing each one individually. Like there's Ray. I think the head sculpts for this scale are really good. I love the Egon one, but I think Egon's easy to do because if they just throw glasses on him, he almost looks right. Venkman's not bad. And Winston's not bad either. Winston actually looks pretty good, I think. Venkman probably, I think Bill Murray might have one of those faces that's tough to get. But I do like that at this scale, they can make that Ecto 1. So I was just curious, are there crazy, are there Ghostbusters fans on here? Because I wonder, sometimes I'll listen to some things and it sounds like there's zillions of Ghostbusters fans. And I love Ghostbusters, but I never really considered picking up the stuff, except maybe the Mezco set. One day I might decide, I need these Ghostbusters. Mirage, I picked up 0 multiverse figures this week. That's all right. I'm good with that too. I do need to get that Darkseid though. Like I have any to begin with. You know what? I have one Batman that I picked up to try out. It was the first Page Puncher's Batman. And I think I'm going to need to do videos with him. There was that Page Puncher's Batman, and there's also the Classified Lady Jane. I tried selling those, didn't get any takers. So I might have some videos that I want to put together with them. I got the Marvel Legends Iron Man wave when it was on sale a week ago. Oh, it was on sale. Nice. So did you get the She-Hulk? Because the She-Hulk looks good. The Whiplash looks good too. I think the Iron Man, that's the thing with Legends. I think they all look good. I wish that She-Hulk had a ball peg waist, because I saw her in person at the store. She looked great. And if she had that ball peg waist, I would have picked her up for sure. Last pickup was Mezco Spidey. Spidey. They look good. Let's see. See, I've got this thing that shows up on the bottom. There we go. Okay, price, just not my scale. Yeah, say. I was just curious because I wonder about, it does look like there's a lot of Ghostbusters fans out there when like a HasLab goes up, That was a while ago, though. Yeah. This Batman, I haven't gotten a lot this year, Robert. I don't know about you, but I got Batman and Kirby. I got like the cheap turtles from Mutant Mayhem, the Playmates. I got Last Ronin Wrath. I got the Usagi 4-pack. I got a Skeletor. But seriously, I don't think I've gotten 10 figures yet this year. So I gotta work on that a little bit. Raj, more than decent for 3.75 figures as a former 3.75 collector. Yeah, I think you're right. You know, I'm sitting here saying, well, it's a decent head sculpt, but you're right. At that scale, it's tough to get. And these pictures are obviously going to be blown up. So when they're standing on somebody's shelf, they're going to look perfect. If I still did 1/18, these would be a pickup. Yeah. And I love that they've got the Ecto one. I'll be honest, if I would go back and hunt down the Hasbro Plasma series, if there was an Ecto one that got released by like HasLab, I'd go crazy for that. Does it come with a car or separate? The car is separate. I don't know. Hold on. We'll go. Let me check out a couple comments here and I'll go back and see if I can find the Ecto one. Oh, yeah. I got them all. Nice. Yeah, that She-Hulk looks sweet. I think Whiplash looks good. Which Iron Man is it that's a little shinier, like the darker red? I think he looks good. They just teased some sort of vehicle. Oh, Ghostbusters vehicle for HasLab this fall? Oh, no. John, just as I sit there and say, I'd get that Ecto one, you have to throw that in there. You're kind of a jerk, John. I've decided. I keyed. I do want to go now and find the Ecto one. I can't remember what that was priced at. I know it's out there. Come on now. Come on, Ecto one. Where are you? I'm in the Ghostbusters section. Trapping Ecto one. That's not it. Oh, no. If they had it, it might be gone, at least at BBTS. 1/6 scale. 3D puzzle. All right, this is not helpful. Hasbro did do a 1/18 Ecto one, didn't they, guys? Or am I totally dreaming? Hang on. Maybe. Okay, here we go. Plasma series. This was the one, I think, but it was 1/18. Let's see. Yep, this was the one. And apparently, at least at BBTS, it was $60. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. They upscale this bad boy. Give it a few. Imagine the bells and whistles that HasLab would put on an Ecto one. Just look at all the lights on this thing. And it would have to, I mean, I don't know if it would have the sound, but this thing, if any of the HasLabs had sounds, this should be the one that does. I should never do that again. Yeah, I just went back through to look at all the lights, basically. There we go. Look at that. That thing would be crazy. That thing at 1/12 scale is going to be ridiculous. That tracks. John, you're killing me, man. Yeah, it's about 85 on eBay. Oh, dang. Okay. So basically, you better have jumped on it if you're going to use your Ghostbusters with it. 1/18 scale. Yeah, that's sweet. I didn't know that they teased a 1/18th vehicle for HasLab. I mean, it has to be the Ecto-1, right? There's no other vehicle in Ghostbusters. And they need a ghost set, like a Slimer. Basically, you just need Ghostbusters and a bunch of ghosts. Like somebody, if Hasbro's not going to do it, somebody out there needs to just make a line of crazy, weird creatures and ghosts and ghouls and all that stuff that you could use with your Plasma Series stuff or your Mezco Ghostbusters, if that's what you go with. They didn't say scale. Come on. It's got to be 1/12. Got to be 1/12. Or unless it's 1-to-1. You'd assume 1/18th. I can't imagine 1/18th as a HasLab. I hope it's 1/12 because they've already done this 1/18th one. Though I totally get it. Yeah. Get a 1/12. Yeah. Okay, the reason I actually came here, though, hold on, one more. Depends on price. Yeah. Yeah, price is the thing. I did want to show, in defense of DC Multiverse, because I do give it crap, but look at this bad boy. I know I've talked about it on a couple live streams already, but that dark side, that thing doesn't need crazy articulation because it's dark side. And he's got the wired cape. I know I've heard some they don't like the veins in his arms there, and that may be inaccurate. I mean, that is inaccurate, but that doesn't bug me so much. I love the prepping for the Omega. I almost went Star Wars Bad Batch there with Omega, but the Omega beam prep there on that head I think looks great. I think this dark side looks really good. So if this is the direction that McFarlane continues to go in, especially like this character, like I said, I don't think needs a lot of articulation. But then with other characters, if they do need articulation and he really starts going nuts on that, because yeah, this is a step in the right direction as far as I'm concerned. Like I wish that he would stop with the cards. I know that a lot of people like him though, so I'm not gonna say like this is again just subjective. I wish he didn't include cards. I wish he didn't include stands. I've said a zillion times, and I'll keep saying it. I see stands more as like a cost savings measure for companies rather than a benefit to consumers. But that's just because I'm always messing with this stuff and I can make them stand. So yeah, I know a lot of people really like their stands, but I just wanted to say in defense of DC Multiverse, might I present to you this dark side? I think this thing's incredible. I didn't jump on it when I saw that I could have, and I kind of wish I did, but hopefully I'll find them somewhere. 60, then that's 375. Yeah, that one was 3.75. The 1/18th scale, it said in the description. That's why I'm hoping that the HasLab would be 1/12. I may not be a fan of McFarlane, but he looks good. Yeah, this is kind of what I'm talking about. If they keep moving in this direction, like I said, I don't think Darkseid needs a lot of articulation, but then there are characters that do need more articulation. So the points are there. The points of articulation are there. If they start cutting away the diapers a little more and allow them to move and do a little better with the engineering at the waist and the diaphragm joint, now we're getting some figures that are pretty awesome. If I'm nitpicking, I really, really hate their bases. Only barely better than no base. Yeah, just discs. I'm kind of like, I mean, again, I think it's a cost-cutting measure for the company more than a value add for the consumer. But if you are going to do a base, I think the best bases out there right now are the Valaverse bases, like the stands. I think those are really cool. And even the new stands for their figures that are in Series 5 look really good. I don't think McFarlane figures need stands, to be honest. It isn't like they're imports. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't have enough of them to really be able to judge that. But I know, I mean, the one that I have does need help. And if you guys saw my short last night where I walked through the studio, it's a small studio, which is why I could do it in a short. Some of my I have four McFarlane figures in my collection, but three of them are San Francisco 49ers sports picks from way back when. There's a Joe Montana, there's a Ronnie Lott, and there's a Jerry Rice. So yeah, 3 out of 4 of them are those, and then one of them is a Batman I couldn't sell. But I would, if presented with the opportunity to grab this Dark Side again, I will more than likely pick him up. I think he's really good. I noticed bigger characters always look better. They do, but like Bane, for instance, to me, he looks great, but I think he needs better articulation. Darkseid, not so much. So there's that. I do think the Swamp Thing looks good, though. Hulk, Solomon Grundy, Juggernaut, etc. Yeah. Solomon Grundy doesn't need much. Juggernaut doesn't need much. Hulk needs a little more than them just because I feel like nobody's done a figure that gets the thunderclap just right, except like the first Toy Biz Hulk. But then that one had its own things that weren't quite right, you know? Let's see, I got a 40K fig as a Christmas present and it needs the base and it's still not great. I think the Warhammer ones look pretty good, but I haven't played Warhammer. So that's an opinion from somebody that doesn't really know what he's talking about. Agree. I may get that Dark Side. Yeah. I think he's good. So I do sit here and I do rip on Multiverse from time to time, obviously, but when they get it right, I'm absolutely going to give them credit. And I think with this Dark Side, they just got it right. And that's the whole reason I came over to the Big Bad Toy Store site here, the web page, hanging out on Big Bad Toy Store. What else? I do like going through here from time to time and seeing the stuff that I missed. Let's see, Operation Monster Force. We've seen all that. Oh, here we go, guys. Let's wait a second. What's that? Tell me that's 1/10, but it's still 1/10 works. Model kit, Bat Pod, and it has an anime look. Oh, that's really cool. That looks even more like mechanical, like almost futuristic than the Bat Pod itself does. Oh, that's sweet. And check out Catwoman's tail, complete with like the devil looking tail at the end of it. Wow. So there's a Catwoman you could fit with your McFarlane figures, and for $70, and that's a sweet looking Bat Pod. Sorry, I get distracted, obviously. I worked for Games Workshop for 9.5 years. They look spot on. Okay, sweet. So he's got that going. Is Games Workshop, did you have anything to do with their licensing department? Like I was curious if I know Nintendo is really hardcore about making sure things look spot on. And I wondered if Games Workshop is the same way. Better than McFarlane. It's just really cool. And I don't even have any characters or any figures that have kind of an anime look. But yeah, clearly I got stopped there. Let's check this out just because I want to. I got an email or a message from Harry yesterday talking about, I think he said BBTS had extreme set stuff going on for sale. So I might look and see if we can find that still. Oh, Meowscles. I did kind of want this weight set. I thought that would be a fun thing. I don't know some of this. Oh, animated sewer. Save 30%. Okay, here's some extreme sets going a little cheaper. So anybody that is into your Toon Turtles. Oh, that's pretty sweet. So yeah, you could go and grab that in their daily deals section. I don't know what Redemption Skeleton Ninja Tricksters. I don't know what. Oh, wait, I have seen these. Like the pumpkin headed guys. Oh, that guy's crazy. 112 scale. Oh, cuddly. Okay, that's not 112, pal. I think of 112. It's kind of got the deformed look, but that's pretty cool. There we go. Another extreme set. Let's see, building 6.0 version 2, 112 scale. Man, Fortnite is on sale a wee bit, obviously. Probably makes sense since nobody's going to make it anymore. Aerial Assault Trooper, more Fortnite. I don't know anything about Fortnite, guys, so I'm kind of just going through here. If you see something that looks sweet, game on. I am going to look up extreme sets real quick and see what we've got here. Okay, so there are more on sale. Subway Sewer 3.0, which looks like the same thing as the animate. Oh, no, not at all. I was going to say it looks like the same thing as the animated one, but painted differently, but this looks totally different. It's on sale for $60. Ninja. I wonder who this sewer's for. Pretty cool stuff. Ooh, I've been talking and you guys have too. Hold on, I should probably chat. I was in packing, shipping, then mail order, customer service. Okay. Customer service. How hard is customer service? Like, I've worked for myself for a while, and dealing with customers most of the time is pretty easy. But I just wonder if you ever had to deal with some of the rough ones. I only tangentially dealt with anything related to licensing, in so much as they give me their spiel, then I transfer them. Got it. So basically, it was just people trying to get the license, I assume. See, I'm looking at that sewer set. Yeah, I know, especially Ramen Toys still hasn't given me any real information on the Musk. So I keep looking at this stuff, mainly into Alien and Predator. Okay. Wonder what I can find here. See what we can find there. Let's see. Who in the world bought those Pac-Man ghost suits? What? What did I might have missed. Maybe that was what I was going through with the deals there. Let's see. Enough for it to go off sale. If you look carefully, the 3.0 is the same, just the paint. Okay. Just like a different skin. Customer service can be difficult, but it's often easy or fulfilling. Sweet. Okay. That's been kind of my experience just dealing with clients, is most of the time it's pretty good. So I was curious. You always hear the horror stories, probably because nobody really talks about, yeah, this today was easy. Everybody was cool, you know? Rooftop. I need a good rooftop diorama. Holy crap, $85 for this one. Like, you always feel like you need a rooftop. So I've got that backdrop that I take a lot of photos in front of. And if I had a rooftop, I could have like a brooding Spider-Man or Batman or Daredevil's coming out from Mayfex in a couple months. So you totally need them brooding on top of something. And this doesn't look like I've got the Hush Batman that's in black and he came with a gargoyle base. This doesn't look like the right kind of building for a gargoyle base, though. Oh, wow, it's huge. Extreme Sets does good stuff. It's just like you get something that isn't Extreme Sets, that's foam board and all that stuff, and you're going, man, the detail, the way that the light hits something that is sculpted versus the way it hits something that's flat. Like Extreme Sets is really great when you can put it in the background, kind of, and the light doesn't matter so much. But when you're really trying to light up a building, it is a little tougher. I like it anyway, but it is a little tougher. Like for a rooftop, this is perfect because this part could be in the background and you could blur it up and it wouldn't matter so much. And then this is close enough to the shape it would really be where, you know, you might have, if somebody were sculpting it, you'd have these parts where they're cut in a little bit, but it wouldn't matter tons because you'd be focusing on the figure that's brooding over the edge, you know? I have so many stories, especially since I'm a customer service manager now. Oh no. So you've got your stories, and being the manager, you've probably got all kinds of other people's stories too. I wonder if these work with 3.75 and 6-inch at the same time. You could probably make it work, just depending on the angle that you shoot it with. But I don't know. I think they make 1/18 ones as well. I mean, I'm assuming, of course, I'm sitting here going, oh yeah, you just shoot it at a certain angle and you're good. Container pack. Holy crud. That's right. Holy crud. Trying to keep it PG. $40 for these. Like shipping container type stuff. You could load up on a bunch of those. Because you know, there's always somebody always ends up in a shipyard. I don't think the shipyard's the right word. Somebody always ends up in an area with a lot of shipping containers. Keep looking for the ones that are, oh, wait a sec. I did not plan on this being an Extreme Sets kind of deal, but look at that. That's pretty sweet. It's kind of got the NECA thing going with their 3-story building or 2-story building with the skyline going on. It is. It's the same layout. It's just this is going to be cardboard. Now, see, this is the kind of building that I would probably get. I want to ultimately build like a city out of dios, and Extreme Sets would work as well as anything else, depending on background and all that. That's pretty sweet. Robert's Infinite Realms. Extreme Sets are cool, but a tad pricey. Yeah, I could see thinking that. That's when Harry texted me or sent me an Instagram message yesterday and was talking about the sale. I should have talked about it right then because they have some on sale. By the way, Robert, thank you for stopping by. Let me know, what have you picked up in the past week? Let me see here. I was looking at trying to find the ones that had the discount going. Here we go. The animated sewer again that we saw. The crate pack for $30. Well, that's simple enough. You can throw those in something and just have like put these in a background. You can also use something like this for an extreme foreground of your pictures, because usually the extreme foreground is going to be blurry anyway. That's a pretty sweet set. I didn't even know that was out there. I think we saw this one. I'm just looking for things that say sale, you know? Like the only one I've got is the sewer, or sorry, not the sewer, the asylum. And I can't even find that on eBay anymore. Hey, here we go. 7.0 building. Okay, that's kind of cool with the neon lights, but I feel like we need to get LED strips to make them so they're really neon lights. Especially for photos, or some kind of reflective tape, like for the characters and the 8 there. So like the characters here, get some kind of pink reflective tape or something to tape in there. Like it would be a lot of work to make one with a lot of neon look right, I think. John, shipping containers might be better in 3D prints and painted than cardboard. That's probably true, but it's a lot more work. Like a lot more work and a lot more time. Although this would obviously be a lot more money. So it just depends on it's always a time versus money equation, you know, it's always the way you allocate all that. Oh, cool. I'd not seen this one. Yeah, man, some of this stuff is really sweet. Got my Zabu wave. Nice. It was a week late because the package was lost, but finally found. Wolvie and Psylocke pack, Motu Orko, and Legacy Deadpool. That all sounds good. So the Wolvie and Psylocke pack, that was okay. I know what you're talking about. The Marvel Legends one. All right, I'm with you there. The Zabu wave, that's insane. I saw Unparalleled Universe talking about Icarus, and he said that character is just crazy good. And since I picked up my NECA Kirby, I'm kind of on a kick like that. So I wondered about that Icarus because it looks like the belt he's got hides the waist cut, and that has me curious. I'm sick like that. But Zabu itself looks awesome, and Kazar looks really good. Like a lot of the figures look sweet. So congrats. That sounds like a great haul. And then I'm looking here. Let's see. Yeah, the Motu. There's a lot that Motu does that I think looks really good. I just haven't gotten them because, again, the waist cuts. But they come with the right amount of accessories. They're painted well. Yeah. I like the Wolvie and Psylocke pack, though the Psylocke was a lot better than the Wolvie. What's the one, the Sabretooth and Wolverine pack? Obviously, everybody's picking it up for the Sabretooth, but Wolverine's shoulders, like they really sculpted Wolverine well in that pack. I'm pretty impressed with that one. All right, let's see if we see anything else that says on sale. Retro Arena, 112. Does it come? Wait, it comes with the arena. Oh, over 6 feet wide. That's why. Oh my gosh, guys, look at that. That's why that's so much money. There's your 112 scale figure, meaning this thing's got to be, oh, it's showing me here, almost 3 feet tall, like about 2 3/4 feet tall. That's a big set. Wonder how much that looks like. It would be a pain to build unless the people just pop up. Like it's one of those old school pop-up sets. And I don't have any wrestling figures, so it would have to go crazy. No wonder, like it's 8049, but you see the size and you're going, well, that costs a pretty penny to print. Icarus was much better than expected. Kazar is good, but he has those forearm cuts from Vulcan mold. My favorite Cable. I looked at that Cable too. Yeah, because he's got the belt that hides the waist cut. And he's a good look. So I don't know, man. Like those two figures, like I don't know that I need an Icarus except for the Jack Kirby connection. But that cable looks really good. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I do kind of like DC Multiverse. I gotta give Legends props when I see their stuff and I think, oh man. And when they can hide the waist cut and the figures look as good as those two, I should talk about those more because those are great looking figures. I've seen people talk about that cable, and that cable, just the head sculpt looks ridiculously good. I thought this was a courthouse set at first. It could be. It could be depending on where you're at. I'm sure in the future, courthouses are going to look like that. Kind of like how Parliament kind of goes crazy and everybody starts yelling at each other. U.S. like Congress and Senate is kind of getting that way now. So maybe 100 years in the future, this will be a courthouse where like the judge speaks and everybody in there is going to boo him. I'm back. I'm back. That was me clicking the wrong button. All right. Anyway, the point here is there's stuff. There's stuff that we can all always spend our money on, I suppose. You should see the Taiwan Parliament then. I've never seen the Taiwan Parliament on TV. I might need to check that out. And Toypixx just disappeared. No, I'm back. I'm back. I was trying to hit back on the Big Bad Toy Store window, and I hit back on here. So go me. All right, guys. I think we're pretty much set. I think we've got everybody. Everybody's talked about what all they picked up. Like I said, depending on the Sundays in the future, I might make this something a little more regular, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll look at the analytics on this. Sadly, when it comes to YouTube, you are governed a little bit by the analytics. I might look at it and say, nah, I should have just made a video today, but we'll see. So anyway, thank you as always for stopping by, taking the time to just hang out for a bit. It's always a blast talking to you guys. And that's that. So until next time, have fun. Happy snapping. See ya.